Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, evening, if that's where you are. Maybe some of the folks joining us could be joining us from all around the world at any time of day. I'm Sam Anderson, joining you here from, we're streaming from San Francisco, California. I would love to hear hello to everyone in the chat. Anderson, that's my last name. Is that your first name? That's a great first name. Christian, hello. Greg, hey, nice to see you again. This is so fun. Tim is back in the chat as always, and I'm back for our second challenge today in the XD Daily Creative Challenge. Hey Anna, you're back again, so thanks for joining. Ooh, Robin from North Carolina. Ooh, fun. Noelle is joining us. I would love to hear not where you're from, but what's the weather like where you are? I think that would be interesting to hear because, we're always talking about where you're from, but like, what's it like outside? Here in San Francisco, it's quite sunny today. So it's really nice. I'm gonna eat lunch outside, I think. So we're on our second challenge for XD Daily Creative Challenge, and we're going to kick off right on our homepage, which is where we can just find everything that we need for our challenge today. So it is behance.net/challenge/XD. And if you click this blue button, that will initiate you into our notifications for getting the challenges every day. And you can read more about what we're doing every day here. Basically, our experience design challenges are going to unlock each day. And this is today's, boom, right here. And we have a starter file that you can click and get when you hit get started. That will open up a lovely Dropbox link here. You're going to want the XD file as well as this zip file too, because that zip file actually has some of our data that we're going to be designing with today, which is a perfect segue into what today is all about, which is storytelling with data. How can we use data in a way that we can tell a story with beyond just like lorem ipsum or like filler text, right? We really want to bring designs to life, which is the heuristic for today. Tim, thanks for the link. In our Behance chat, we have the link to that challenge where you can go and download this starter kit, which is going to be helpful for you today. So it looks like it's raining for some people, 36 degrees Celsius. Oh my gosh, that is so warm. I would not be able to take that. Looks like it's super hot in Germany as well. Oh my gosh, 40 Celsius? I would explode. I would literally explode in that heat. Wow, oh my gosh. 38, wow, it's hot for everyone. That's insane. So as you can see, there are challenges for all the future days that we're going to unlock. You can download XD and learn more about what XD is here and join our community with this button at the bottom of the page. Let's look at Discord. Discord has been going crazy wild with the challenges from yesterday, and it has made me so incredibly happy. And people have been giving impeccable feedback. People have been sharing their really fun designs. It's really just been a blast. Like, honestly, look at how much there is. I'm giving people feedback, and I keep having to scroll up to like find the next one, and there's just so much scrolling I have to do. And so I'm trying to give feedback to everyone I can, but of course there's only so much time I have, and I have a job on top of this, of course. So this is where the community comes in, and the strength of all of you to help one another can really be beneficial. So hop in there. If you're going to share your design, or if you're getting feedback, give other people feedback and just kind of loop it forward, because it's only going to help us as designers is to get that constructive criticism. It's one thing to say that you like a design, but to really kind of find and finesse what about a design could be better will help someone grow. And don't think that people will take it harshly. It is about building ourselves up as designers, and you're not critiquing the person, you're critiquing the design. And so just keep that in mind. And so lots of really awesome work here. So if you shared your work in here from yesterday, that was a blast, and I can't wait to see more of that. So look how much there is. Oh my God, there's so much. And hello, everyone that's joining in now. New York City is also looking really warm as well. Wow, that's impeccable. So this is our starter file for today. is day 2. Look, a big bold number 2 lets you know we're on challenge number 2. And like I said, we're designing with data. And so specifically, we're designing an endangered species awareness app. And so we have some plugins that we can use to tie in data. And nowhere in this app are we going to use fake data because we really want to make this story as true as possible. So no lorem ipsum. I don't want to see any like filler lorem ipsum in the in the submissions for feedback on Discord. Let's see. We have some ways for you to track your progress with some point systems in here, which is just a way for you to track your progress. Nothing major there. And then the Wikify plugin, which we'll be using. And there's even ways you can get, if you have a really advanced data set in a file, it's called a JSON file, there's even plugins for that allow you to bring that in. I keep forgetting to say this, but you can follow me on Twitter, sam.design. Everywhere I am, it's sam.design is my username. And if the usernames don't let you put the dot in, it's just DOT. So follow me on Twitter. I'm always tweeting about XD because I am on the Adobe XD team. So I'm always tweeting about design tools and design things and whatever else. So you're going to want we're gonna start with a list, and then we'll go into like a detail view. Those are going to be our main dynamics with our app. And when you're designing this yourself, feel free to take your own liberties with how you design it. And maybe you don't want to make it about endangered animals. Maybe you want to make it about something else that you really care about, and you're pulling in data from somewhere else. There's tons of free data online that you can pull in from. So that is really big text, and I don't think we need it to be that big. But so let's make it smaller here. And this is really what we're just starting with as a basic list to kick us off. And so I think we're going to want some big photos in this app, and I think using really big photos is only going to make our app more engaging to help tell that story, like we were saying. This is just placeholder right now, but that's going to be like the name of the animal, which is in a text file. We can pull that in, and then we're going to have a background. I'm drawing a rectangle here to act as the background of this. And so each animal is going to take up a full screen, or maybe like almost a full screen, maybe like that much. So you can tell that there's more to scroll and see. And it's going, okay, we'll leave the border on for now. We'll take that off later. And we're going to select both of these. Let's make a repeat grid, because that's going to be key in how we bring in our data. Because when we drag in text files, which we're about to do, the repeat grid will pull out each line of text for data. Awesome. We're seeing some activity in the chat. Keep it up. I'm loving to see this conversation going on here. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's make our artboard long. I'm thinking it will be scrolling. Yours doesn't have to be scrolling. It could be, maybe there's a different way you want to navigate all of this. Who knows? Maybe it goes left and right. Maybe there's smaller list items. I really encourage you to take your own creative freedom on this one. But okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna exit full screen just for a second here, because in that zip file that you got from Dropbox, there's this, which is our endangered animals names. And it's just a text file. It's a TXT file. Each line has a new name. And watch what happens when we drag and drop that right onto our repeat grid. Each element gets its name. This is kind of like XD's like claim to fame feature that was one of the first features, but still like one of the best, honestly. If we have any repeat grid fans, I'd love to hear how you love using repeat grid. And so in the other folder are some photos that I pulled from the World Wildlife Fund website, which is where I sourced this data for what animals are endangered. And if we just open that folder, drag in our images, boom, we have our images showing. showing here for each of these. And because I organized that list, actually they're not corresponding right now. But if, let's see, let's reopen this, and let's actually change the sorting by name. Here we go. And now when we drag it in, there we go. That's the leopard. It was showing a rhino here for the leopard one. That's definitely not. Okay, and that's definitely the rhino. We'll fix some of these text elements as well. So it's really that easy. Like, we're designing with real data already. I think we'll use actually white text, and then on our repeat grid element, maybe we'll do some other like gradient overlay to make that text easier to read, which is just going to be a simple linear gradient here. Let's make that transparent, black. Ooh, cool. And that helps make our white text more legible. Awesome. If anyone has any questions about how to use XD, just throw those in. Always happy to help. I'm gonna take off this border. Or feedback for XD. You know, there's always things we can improve. Some of these we might want to adjust, like where the image is centered. That looks cool. Wow, we're getting really intimate with these animals. So it's kind of a new level of empathy with, because it's so in your face, like you're really seeing their face. It's amazing. Okay, and so we have our list here, and maybe actually under each of these, let's see, we have like another piece of, let's see, like see more info, or some other way to show that we're gonna have a more information screen. And that's going to be smaller. You can do an icon for this. Again, take your own creative freedom. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. 10 is too small. 20? No, that's too big. 16. Let's see that. Maybe like medium. Cool. I kind of like that. And maybe, you know, our app probably has other navigation. Maybe at the top we have like an element that has a background blur. Let's see. It's kind of dark. And then we could have a title. Endangered animals. Or it could, I mean, we could think of a more creative name. You can think of a more creative name for your design if you'd like, or the name of this app that you're designing, if you want to give it a name. That's perhaps a more creative name than that. And we'll put that up there. We are going to, because this is a scrolling artboard, we want that to stay there. So in prototype tab, I'll group those. In prototype tab, I'll do fixed position when scrolling. And look at this. When we open the preview, it stays there. And we can see our whole list of animals. Nice. And I'm noticing here that we have like a pixel between our repeat grids. So if we just go in and adjust that, you know, every pixel counts in this world. Because, you know, we are designers, and it can be hard to adjust these at sometimes. We're zooming in all the way. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Or maybe it's is it a border? Is it a border? Yeah. Either way. Okay. So we have our list. I can actually make this. Let's make it longer, and then we'll work on our detail view. Look, boom. I included a lot of animals in here. So you can go crazy with it. Let's do all the way to there. Maybe you want to put more information on this screen. Maybe the photo doesn't take as much of a grand place in the design. And now we're going to do like a detail view example. And this is where our Wikify plugin is actually our artboard doesn't need to be that long. Our Wikify plugin is going to come in handy. Boom. Because we're going to give more information about that animal itself. So let's see, we could do maybe like black rhino or the leopard. We're going to pull in these elements over here. That'll be nice. Maybe move this down. And perhaps the, oh, okay, I know what that is. It's not, it's just the gradient wasn't lined up all the way. There we go. And we'll move that like that. Ooh, there we go. Nice. And maybe actually, doesn't need to be quite as big here. You see more of the photo. That's a gorgeous photo, isn't it? Wow. Awesome. Sorry if I'm not seeing everything that's coming through the chat. But okay, we are going to pull in data about the leopard. So let's make our body text smaller. We don't need it to be quite so big. Let's use 16 again, maybe not bold. And so here's where the magic's gonna happen. With our text box selected, we can use a plugin called Wikify. And so where you'll find this is in, let's do Discover Plugins. It's called Wikify, like Wikipedia. That's what you're gonna look for. Wikify just pulls in Wikipedia content from any kind of source, any Wikipedia page. And so that's the content that we're going to use. So we'll run Wikify and we'll type in Amur leopard. We'll hit Wikify and boom, we have the content from that specific leopard's Wikipedia page coming in right for us. Which is just really neat, because that's real content. That's not lorem ipsum, because this is, if we were to actually make this app, that's more realistic for the type of data that we would actually be using. And so we can do this with another animal as well. So perhaps we can do the black rhino. And we'll copy that over. And I'll make this line up like the other one. And I'll show that for you again. Let me bring over this gradient. And I'll show you how we can prototype so that these are linked within each other. Cool. Oh. Cool. So I'll select that text box again. We go up to Wikify. You could get your data from somewhere else if you'd like. You know, that would work too. But I just thought this was a really handy tool. We'll do black rhino, Wikify, boom, the black rhinoceros, or hook-lipped rhinoceros. Wow, these animals have such stellar names. It's kind of sad that they're endangered. You can increase readability a little bit. Maybe we want to add some paragraphs. Just, you know, chunking up the text will help it be a little bit more readable. And I think it only pulls in like the first so many paragraphs or so. I'm not sure if it really pulls in the whole article. In Prototype, we can specify this. When this is tapped, we want to go to Amur leopard. And so we can change it from like, okay, tap, we want it to be a tap interaction. And let's do a transition. Let's do no like fancy auto animate. I don't think we need that. Let's do slide right. And we'll actually do the same for the black rhino. And if you want, you could do this with more animals if you want. Ooh, look at that. Wow, and we need a back button too, is what I'm realizing. So on this page, we'll probably need a back button. And so we'll do back. You can also give your button an icon, which I'll do it from this one. So maybe like, let's go back to design tab. We can draw a quick back button, which is usually just like an arrow like that. Pretty simple. White, make it slightly bigger and some rounded corners to match. Cool. I like it. And then we can make this, we'll group that. In the prototype tab, we can actually specify under here, trigger tap transition previous artboard. And it'll just go back to whatever artboard was previous. And so you can actually copy that and paste it onto each one. I'm not sure if I like it being at the top always. Maybe it doesn't need to always be there, but you know, you can change that up in your particular design if you'd like. But that's working pretty well. So I encourage you, when you're making this yourself, to actually get creative with it. And maybe you're pulling in other information about an animal. Maybe you're throwing in a video. Get creative, because there's so much opportunity beyond just showing the list of animals and the content itself. But of course, the main idea here is that we're using real content. And so if you're designing your app for this challenge for another set of animals or some other cause that you really care about, then be sure that you're using real data and just have fun with it, of course. But the real key here is that we're using repeat grid, and we're having a good time just pulling in, dragging and dropping that data. So it's really easy, and that took me only a few minutes to put together that data for you guys as well. Lastly, you're going to want to share out your design. I think this is a great one to actually share a prototype of, like a web prototype. So up in the Share tab, Share for Review, you can generate a link. And that link you can share in our Discord channel, or you can actually upload that to Behance. And so I'll show you how you can upload to Behance. You can snazz it up in so many different ways. In Behance, there's this blue Create Project button. You can upload the imagery for that particular project. You can kind of lay it out so you can have fun with it, tell your story about each part of the app. This is just an example from one of my earlier streams to really tell that story, because your Behance is your portfolio and you really want to sell the idea, sell the process of how you made something. So you could use XD to actually lay out this really long image that tells that story. And then you can actually include like the interactive prototype right in there as well. And then you can give it a title. So you'll whatever your app is named, crop and continue, you give it a thumbnail. And so when you're uploading to Behance, you can do this after you share back to Discord. You get feedback in the Discord channel. I'll show you that one last time. So you'll get feedback in the current -challenge channel in Discord. And so once you've gotten your feedback, upload it to Behance under discoverability. When you're just finishing up your upload, in keywords here, add XD daily challenge. And you want to, if you do the comma, it will just like submit right into there. And why this is so important is because when you choose that tag and you upload it to Behance, it will actually show up with all the other people that are submitting to Behance in addition. So this is what that looks like. We have all of the lovely submissions from yesterday on our, we designed a map, a navigation map for a car screen, a navigation screen. And that was just a blast. I loved that. And seeing everyone's designs, I wish, I want to look, I'll probably go back and give more feedback to the people I wasn't able to give feedback to yet, to. But just like, look at all these great designs. I love how some people are putting this in context, showing it on the dashboard. That's really key in terms of storytelling with your portfolio, just to see it in the place where it belongs. I highly encourage you to do that with your app as well. Maybe it belongs to a zoo, and maybe someone is like going through a zoo and they're looking at the exhibits and they're holding the phone, and you see the app design with the information about the animals right there. Really just showing it in context. It couldn't be that. It's such an easy way to upgrade your storytelling with your portfolio. Wow, I love how some people are pulling in like the colors here that we use. Oh, yep, look, you can even include a video into your Behance. Not bad at all. And so there's also a prototype link. I'll show you how you can add a prototype link to your Behance. So when you do publish it, share for review, create link. And what you share in Behance, it could be the link, it could be the Behance. What you share in Discord, it could be the Behance link, it could be the prototype link, either way. So copy embed code, that's going to be important. And then in our create project for Behance, we do embed media, boom, paste, embed. And look, at the bottom of our design, it's gonna load here for a second. But our embedded prototype will actually just load up right there. Maybe we have to hit preview. Click to launch an interactive prototype, and boom. Once it loads here, look, right in Behance, you have your interactive prototype. So I can't wait to see what everyone is going to do for this wild challenge today. Really take your own creative freedoms and tell a story that you want to tell with data. We'll be back tomorrow with another challenge. It's going to be a fun one, and I can't wait to see you back here. I'm Sam Anderson, sam.design on Twitter, designer on the XD team, and it was so great. Shoot me messages on Discord if you have any questions. But otherwise, I will see you back here tomorrow at the same time. See ya!